Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I had so much fun with that first biscuit video, I thought I'd come back and do a second. I got my can of biscuits, and I'm bringing you another breakfast, lunch or dinner, and dessert recipes for one. So grab you a can of biscuits and let's get started. For our first canned biscuit recipe today, we're going to be making an easy maple pecan monkey bread. Let's get started. By getting you a small dish, I have a 10-ounce ramekin, and that's what I'm going to be making mine in. So you want to take your dish or ramekin and you want to spray it with some nonstick cooking spray. We're just going to slide this over for just a minute. Now I've mixed up a teaspoon of cinnamon with 4 teaspoons of granulated sugar, just in a sandwich bag, and we're going to set that to the side. Now you want to take your biscuits. Mine is a 5-count can of the grands. You want to get that opened up. And you want to take out 2 of those biscuits. Now I'm going to stick the rest of these in my fridge. I'm going to take your biscuits. I'm going to use a pizza cutter. You just want to cut them in quarters. Now you want to take your bag with your cinnamon sugar mixture in it, and you're going to put these biscuit pieces in this bag. I'm just going to do 4 at a time. I'm actually going to seal that up. And you just want to shake it around so you can get them nice and coated in the cinnamon sugar. Then you want to take them and just place them into your dish. Now before I put my other 4 in there, I've got some chopped pecans, and I'm going to sprinkle some chopped pecans on top of those biscuits. I'm going to kind of spread my biscuits out just a little bit. I'll put my other 4 biscuit pieces on. I'm going to add some more pecans. Now I've moved that off to the side because you want to take 2 tablespoons of butter and you want to melt it down in the microwave. Now to your melted butter, you want to add some brown sugar. I've got 1/8 of a cup of firmly packed brown sugar right here. Now I'm just going to add a little bit at a time because I don't want to put too much. But I'm thinking that the 1/8 of a cup is probably going to be about right. So let's just put the rest of it on in there. Let's get that brown sugar mixed in with the butter. Okay, we have one more ingredient. We're going to need about a teaspoon of maple syrup. Just mix that in with the brown sugar and the butter. I did taste this and it does not have enough brown sugar in it for me, so I am going to add just a little more. And I'm also going to add just a little more maple syrup. Now you want to take this mixture and you want to spoon it all over your biscuit pieces and your pecans. This is what you've got. Now you want to pop it into a 350-degree oven. I'm not sure for how long because this is an actual monkey bread recipe where you use 2 tubes of biscuits, and we're not doing that. I have cut this recipe down a whole lot, so I'm going to start checking this at 10 minutes and we'll go from there. Okay y'all, my easy maple pecan monkey bread was in for a total of 25 minutes. I'm going to set it to the side and I'm going to let it cool for a few minutes, and then we're going to put us a little powdered sugar on top and give it a taste test. Now it's only been a few minutes, so it's still kind of hot, but I'm going to take me a little powdered sugar and just sprinkle over the top, just like that. Now you don't have to do that, but I just thought it'd make it taste extra special. Now this has cooled off just a little bit, but that ramekin it's in is still very, very hot, so I'm not going to pick that up, but I am going to give it a taste. Okay y'all, so I've got me a little bite right here. Let's give it a taste. Mmm. That's good. And you could add you some more maple syrup on top if you want to. I'm not going to because I think it's actually the perfect sweetness for me. So I'm going to eat it as is. See you for the next recipe. For this next recipe, you want to get you a skillet, put it on the stove top. I've got mine on a medium heat. You want to add you some olive oil to it, some sliced onion. Now in with your onions, you want to add in some broccoli. Now you can use fresh broccoli, but I have this frozen. So I'm just going to break it off into little pieces. It's still a little frozen and that's okay. Just toss it over in the oil with the onions. I'm just guessing on how much I need. I think that's going to be enough. Now, if you don't already have some pre-cooked chicken of some kind, whether it be rotisserie chicken, chicken that you grilled or baked or boiled and, you know, already took off the bone, or like me, you go for convenience and use this grilled chicken breast strips already cooked. That is my choice of chicken. And I'm going to cut mine into smaller pieces, right up in there with the broccoli and the onions. Now, of course, if yours is not already pre-cooked, you're going to want to cook your chicken, then add the broccoli and onions in with the cooked chicken. I think that's going to be enough. Now, you're just wanting to cook that onion up a little bit and the broccoli because it was frozen, and you're wanting to heat your chicken all the way through. That's basically all we're doing right here. So I'm just going to let that continue to warm up and heat through. Now you want to take a casserole dish of some kind. Mine is just a little small 4-cup. I just don't feel like a ramekin is going to be deep enough for what we're doing. We're actually making a chicken broccoli biscuit bake. So I sprayed my casserole dish with a non-stick cooking spray, and I'm going to set it over here to the side. Now I've got 2 of my biscuits, and just like in the first recipe, I'm going to cut them in quarters. I'm going to take my quartered biscuits and I'm going to just put them down in this dish. And I'm not really going to mash them down, but I am going to just kind of position them in place a little bit. Kind of spread them out some so that you fill the bottom of your dish. That's going to be just fine. I'm going to set this over to the side for a minute, and we're going to turn our attention back over here to the chicken and broccoli and onions. Now, the recipe doesn't call for these next ingredients, but these are just spices, so you do not have to add these at all, or you can add what you like into yours. I'm going to go in with just a little bit of onion powder, black pepper, and a little bit of crushed red pepper. Just to kick it up just a little notch. This is just about finished. I think this is just about heated through. So I'm going to take this off of the heat. A saucepan over here, and I'm going to add me in about a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to let that start melting down. Okay, my butter's getting melted down. Now I'm going to add in about a tablespoon of all-purpose flour to my butter. I'm going to start whisking that around. Now this calls for milk, and I'm out of milk, so I'm going to use some heavy whipping cream instead. I'm just going to start with just a little bit, pour it in. I'm going to whisk that around. We want this to start getting thick. Going in with some more heavy cream. So this sauce is going to be very good and creamy. You want to whisk this continually because you don't want it to scorch, but you do want it to get thick. And I think we're at about the right consistency for what I need. We're making a cheese sauce, so that's going to be just about right. I'm going to take it off the heat. Now you're going to need you some Parmesan cheese. This is what I'm using. You need about 1/4 cup. I'm going to pour about half in. Get that stirred around in there really good. Let it melt down. Okay, and I'm going to go in with the rest of it. Now I'm going to take this cheese sauce I just made and I'm going to pour it over these biscuits. Just take that sauce and spread it all over the biscuits. Now you want to take your chicken and veggie mix and you just want to spoon that on top of the sauce. Just spread that around on top of that. We're just layering it on. I've got about 1 tablespoon or so-ish of butter and I'm going to melt this down in the microwave. Okay, once you have your butter melted down, you want to take you some breadcrumbs of some kind. And this is how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to pour my breadcrumbs in here in the butter. I'm actually not measuring this, so you know, we'll call that good. We'll get it mixed up. If it's not enough, we'll add some more. There's my breadcrumbs. If you hear funny noises going on, it is pouring down rain outside. And so you may hear thunder, you may hear the rain, you know, different kinds of things. I'm going to add a little bit more breadcrumbs. I just decided to go ahead and use what leftover breadcrumbs I had, since there wasn't that many left. But you want to take this and you want to sprinkle it all over the top of this casserole. Of course, leave it to me to skip a step, so hold up on the breadcrumbs, okay? You want to take some cheddar cheese. I'm using a mild white cheddar. And on top of your chicken and veggies, before you put your breadcrumbs on, you want to take some cheese and just layer that on the top. So I guess it's a good thing I made extra breadcrumbs, huh? Okay, now you're going to sprinkle your breadcrumbs all over the top of the cheese. Just spread them out on it. Okay, here you have your chicken broccoli biscuit bake, and we're going to pop this in a 400-degree oven uncovered for 30 minutes or until the cheese is melted and the breadcrumbs are browned. So let's go. See you in about 30 minutes. Here we go. This is fresh out of the oven. It looks and smells delicious. I'm going to set it over here to the side and I'm going to let it cool down just a little bit. We'll dish some up into a bowl and give it a taste. Got me a bowl. This is enough to eat a couple of times off of, so hey, that's a win, because that means between breakfast and this, that created 3 separate meals for one person. Look how delicious that looks. Now this is still good and hot. We're going to give this a taste. Okay. This smells delicious. This bowl's really hot. I'm going to try to get a bite of everything, the broccoli, the cheese, and the biscuit. Some of the topping. Y'all, you've got to give this one a try. This is delicious. A great meal for one person for lunch or dinner. That's delicious. Add you some crumbled bacon in there. Bacon bits if you have them. That's delicious. Well, I'm going to go eat. And I'll see you at the next recipe when I make my dessert. You gotta make this one. Okay, I'm going to be using the air fryer for this next one. I'm going to preheat my air fryer on 370 for just about 2 minutes. Okay, for the final recipe, you've got 1 biscuit left if you had a 5 count. And I'm just going to break this biscuit in half. And you want to take each half, just roll it around in your hand and start flattening it out. I'm going to press mine out pretty thin. Do the same with the second. Now you're going to take 2 Oreos. I think mine are probably thicker. These are the mega stuff, and I'm pretty sure they wanted you to use just a regular Oreo cookie. So mine are a little bigger, so I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to try it anyway. Because you're supposed to take 1 cookie for each biscuit, and I really don't think that's going to work. Let's try a half a cookie. Let me cut these in half. Yeah, if you're going to do this, I think you should use the regular size Oreos, but you're supposed to take the Oreo cookie and put it just in the center of it and wrap that biscuit all up over that cookie and then just roll it in a ball. We'll do the same with the second one. Okay, so we have these 2, and we're going to cook them in the air fryer on 370 degrees for 5 to 7 minutes. We'll check them at 5. Let's go. Okay, I've put me a little bit of powdered sugar in a bowl. Now I will say this. Before you roll your cookie up in the biscuit dough and put it into the air fryer, it is optional to dunk your cookie in some milk to kind of soften the cookie up a little bit, and then roll it in your biscuit dough and roll it up and put it in the air fryer. I skipped that step completely because I didn't want to soften the Oreo cookie. So these are done. Looks really good. I'm going to take it and I'm just going to roll it around in the powdered sugar. Look at our second one. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze in this little bowl. Okay, let's give them a taste. Now you know anything with powdered sugar is going to be messy, but it's going to be good. So here we go. Air fried Oreos. This is good. See in there, you got your Oreo stuffed inside this little biscuit with powdered sugar. Air fry it for just 5 to 7 minutes and you have a great little dessert or just a little snack. But you're not stuck with a ton of them, okay? So there you go. Go make you some air fried Oreos. You won't regret it. I'm gonna go eat my treat. So there you go. 3 more easy, quick, delicious recipes for one person using canned biscuits. So go get you a can of biscuits if you don't have one and try some of these recipes out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you like this kind of content, go give the video a thumbs up, share the video with your friends and family, leave me a comment below, let me know what you like to make with canned biscuits, and subscribe if you hadn't already. And I'll see you in the next one.